It's Miss Justine here to show you how to do this week's craft, the Popsicle Stick Sheep. In your kit, you will find 2 templates, one for the head of the sheep and one for the legs of the sheep. You'll also find 4 regular sized popsicle sticks. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You will find 2 smaller popsicle sticks. They look like this, 1 and 2. You will find 2 glue dots, which are on, they're sticky pieces of glue on the back of some paper here. It's glue dots. Then we've got white paint in a container and a paintbrush. You'll have a nice clean one. Mine's been used a couple times. You'll have 2 googly eyes, 1 and 2. And you'll have 2 pieces of cotton. One is a little tuft and one is a whole ball. Okay? You're also going to need some glue. I have white glue, but you should be able to use a glue stick as well. You'll need a pair of scissors, and you will need crayons or a marker. I have a black marker, and I also am going to use a gray crayon, okay? All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take your 4 large popsicle sticks and line them up evenly like this. I'm gonna do it on the table so I can make it nice and even. And then I'm going to take 2 glue dots and stretch them out on the back of these little pieces here. The glue dots are just a little bit more sturdy than a glue stick or white glue, but if you are having trouble with the glue dots and would prefer to do that, that's okay too. It might just take a little longer to dry. So when you stretch out the glue dot, it's gonna look like this. You can see it kind of shiny there. And you're going to use it to attach all 4 of the big sticks together. So the first one is gonna look like that, and we're gonna do the same thing again with our second glue dot, okay? Let's see. Okay, so the same thing, we're gonna stretch this sticky guy right out like that, and we're gonna stick it right on to our 4. So it looks like this, but this is the back, so it's okay if it doesn't look too pretty. It looks kind of like a raft. The front is gonna be this side. You're gonna paint white to look like a sheep. All right, that's our next step actually. So we are going to take our paintbrush and take our white paint and coat our popsicle sticks in paint. So it'll look like this. Make sure you're nice and clean about it. It's okay if you make a mess, but as long as you help clean up after. Okay, so you may have to give it a couple of coats, 1 or 2, maybe 3. That's okay. You want to make your sheep look nice and white, like it has nice white wool. So mine looks like this. It's gonna dry, so I'm gonna put it to the side while it dries, and I'm going to color the legs and head of my sheep while it's drying. So I'm personally going to use some gray and some black, but you can make your sheep whatever color you want. All right. So I chose to color mine before I cut them because if I color out of the lines like this, when I cut it, it'll all be cut off, and it won't make a difference in how it looks on my sheep. So again, I put my little hooves on, and I did it before I cut it out so that I can cut off all these little edges that I didn't make look too nice. All right, I'm gonna color the sheep's head now too, and then I'm gonna cut them both out. So I colored my sheep gray, and I added a little detail in the ear. Maybe yours is a different color, or maybe you are going to color the ears a different color. Don't worry about the eyes yet. We have googly eyes for that. All right, so let's cut out the head and legs of our sheep so we can attach them. So see, I colored out of the lines, but you can't even tell because I cut it out. So let me do the same thing with the legs, and we'll move on to our next step, okay? All right. Okay, so now that you've cut out all 4 legs, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are going to glue the 2 googly eyes onto the sheep's head. So it'll look like this or this or this or whatever you want, however you want to put them. There should be another glue dot in there if you want to use it. Otherwise, I'm just going to use some white glue. You can also use a glue stick. Either one will work for this. Okay. Alright, so my googly eyes are on straight like this, but maybe you made yours look nice and wacky and googly. The next thing we're going to do is attach the large cotton ball to the top of his head. You can stretch it out kind of like this, pull it apart a little, make it nice and big if you want him to have big hair. Okay, so like that. And again, we're gonna just glue it on right above the eyes. I'm gonna use white glue, but a glue stick will work fine. And once you put it on, you can style the hair a little bit differently too if you decide you don't like the way it looks. If you think it's too much, if you think it's too much, you can give him a little haircut, whatever you think. All right. Next, we are going to check if our paint has dried. Mine, it looks like has. If yours has not, you can do something else while you wait. And you're going to use a marker or a crayon or a colored pencil or something. I'm going to use a black marker again to draw some tufts of wool onto the body. So a tuft of wool is kind of like the top of his hair here. And it's kind of like how you imagine a cloud looking, maybe. I'm going to draw little 3s kind of all around, and I'll show you what it looks like. So mine looks like this. There's kind of wacky tufts all over. You could make yours all go the same way, or whatever you decide is perfectly fine. All right, so our next task is to glue the head of our sheep onto the top right of the body. Again, I'm going to use white glue, but if you have a glue stick, that's a-okay. Looks like this. But he needs some legs and he needs a tail. So our next task is to glue on all of the legs. I'm gonna put mine on the back. I'm gonna attach them from the back like this. just because I think it makes it a little bit easier. But you can make it look however you would like. Okay, so once you have done the head and the legs, you need to add the tail. The tail is the little tuft here. It's gonna go on the top left side of the sheep when you're looking at it. I'm gonna use my white glue and attach it right on to the side here. Okay, so once you have put it all together, ta-ba! You did it! Good job! All right, we would love to see your popsicle stick sheep here at the library. You can send us a picture of them at via email at kids@uplnj.org. And your artwork will be featured in our online art gallery, which can be found at www.uplnj.org/kids. In your kit, you also should have seen our calendar of our programs that are coming up. We look forward to seeing you at some of them. And I hope you have a nice week. Bye, everyone.